energy needs in Indiana for the future, and that's based off the SUFG studies, the Utility Forecasting Group of Purdue. And so I think the consideration that more production, and I mean in large scale, 24/7 type production is needed. Efficiency is needed, conservation is needed, but I also don't believe that we can conserve or through efficiency gain everything we're going to need in that future. I think we can, through efficiency and conservation, we might be able to, say we don't need to build 2 new plants or another large one, or but we do need that production. And so I think even though there is some great discrepancy, I think the key issue is production of getting something online. That is needed, as with conservation, as with renewable, and what would be, what's going to be the cost if we don't do that to the economy. And so I think those are key considerations that are worth understanding, and that's part of that idea, part of the decisions that we make.
But you also want to ask, a lot of states have global warming task forces. Is that something that you might see the governor introduce next?
I don't know about the introduction of a global warming task force. I think what we do have already in the administration is, for example, there's a group that I actually chair, the Indiana Council on the Interagency Council on Energy, and that combines, and they're public agency, and that combines NDOT, DNR, IDEM, my office of Energy and Defense, Department of Agriculture, Department of Administration, IURC, OUCC, and again, it's talking about these items, whether it be the carbon issue, whether it be new projects in energy, whether it be renewable energy projects, and it's making sure all agencies are on board, understand what's going on, and that we also get from them what their concerns are. So, Commissioner Easterly is at the table with those and talks extensively about some of those things that he's working on with CARE, Great Lakes Compact, and other things that we've achieved during the administration. So we have that group. Again, like I said, there's going to be the group that's developing out of this carbon capture and storage summit. So I guess okay.
To cut to the heart of the question, though, Brandon, clearly the administration acknowledges that there are going to be potential carbon regulations, and we got to get increasingly closer here. Clearly, the administration acknowledges that there are going to be potential carbon regulations, and clearly there is a discussion going on that talks about how to potentially cut those. But I guess what has been striking is that the conversation has never really revolved around the words global warming. Do you think that the campaign believes that global warming exists? And if the campaign believes that global warming exists, do you think that the campaign believes it's principally driven by human activity?
Well, I think that question is up to which group, what science you're talking to. I think there's a lot of opinions, and I wouldn't say whether the administration alone says that there's no global warming. I think everyone can agree there's a climate change. Okay, let's say that. And what is resulting? What makes that climate change? I am not going to say the words global warming is something that we disbelieve or believe.
Why is there, you think, a reluctance to take a position either way?
Well, I wouldn't say the climate. It just depends on what type of, who are the scientists you're talking to. Right. Who's coming out with that evidence? I think also in the Marty Irwin study,
right?
In the presentation, not to use that again. We saw some things in there that says, hey, the IPC, their policies don't necessarily match up with their numbers.
Right.
But I think the issue is we do agree there's an issue. We do agree that there is going to be a need to address carbon, and whatever reason that is,
right. So
it still needs to be addressed with the same, urgency and understanding.
Okay, but you're going to be agnostic about the degree to which man is impacting on that. Is that a fair characterization?
Again, I'm speaking on the idea that maybe my opinion, or I can't say again that we're going to talk about global warming into a definite or indefinite. Is there climate change? Yes. Does that is that taking place? Yes. Will there be carbon regulation? Will there be problems? As far as we need to face economically, environmentally, in dealing with carbon? Yes, we understand that.
Okay, great. Final question, Brandon, is just what would you like to share with our members about how the Daniels administration, the Daniels campaign compares to the Jill Long Thompson campaign with respect to environmental issues? We know about IGCC and your perspective on that. We know about renewable energy. What are some other areas that may distinguish your campaign so that our viewers can make a sound decision on this topic?
I think a lot's taken place over the administration on the environmental side of things, and I think first of all, again, is understanding the permitting system in IDEM, streamlining that system, and offering business to share what their issues are, and allowing IDEM to share their issues to business, and allowing those things to take place and be done for the betterment instead of people having questions. Whether, and I'm not saying her campaign's not, I'm just saying here's what we've tried to correct. Instead of feeling like people had questions or it was a mystery to them what their permit system was going to, what they were going to face when they came in as a business, or what type of system they were going to find. We tried to streamline that. We tried to allow citizens a chance to have a say in this as well. Like I said, the Great Lakes Compact is something that the governor was very passionate about and got finished up. Certainly not at all against the development of renewables, from fuels to electric development. I think the take we have is that it's instead of the silver bullet, it's the silver buckshot. There's going to be a lot of items, and not all of them are going to be things that the environmental community can stand by. Not all of them are going to be things that certain business community people can stand by. But I think we need all of those forms of energy, and I know I'm taking it back to energy, but all those forms to have the proper balance to allow our economy to move forward while helping the environment out and recognizing that there will be carbon constraint issues down the road.
Sure, but I guess in sum, what would be your main points of distinction with the Jill Long Thompson campaign on the environment? You've repeated some of the key themes of Daniel's campaign on environmental issues, but are there any sources of major difference that you want to communicate to our viewers?
I mean,
any distinction that you want to raise based on your view of how the Jill Long Thompson campaign has talked about energy versus your campaign? Are there any points of distinction that you want to make sure are underscored to our viewers?
I'm still not. I mean, I've shared with you what our views on this are, and what we expect to push and continue to back behind. I mean, I understand. I've talked about confined heat operations, and again, I've talked about renewable energy, carbon.
Sure. No, I just wanted to give you it's an open-ended opportunity to talk about points of distinction.
Okay.
Okay. But
I'm not going negative. So.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying negative.
No,
just any areas.
Well, no,
we don't want to have any negativity.
Okay,
we want to just say, well, this is where we stand on renewable energy, and this is where we stand, and those things are different.
Right.
And we think our perspective is going to have more of an impact on business or what have you. That's only what we want to do. We want to elicit differences that will help people make informed choices.
All right. Well, I mean, I think the one thing, and again, I don't know if it's differing from her campaign necessarily, but it's just the sole fact that again, in dealing with these environmental issues, and dealing with the issues of renewable energy and its development, and dealing with the environment, is again, we're going to need a lot of sources to help us along the way to keep our economy going. To talk about energy security, and again, we can't. Understandable that we cannot go as far on fossil fuels anymore. And that's not only just an environmental issue; that's an economic issue.
Yes.
And certainly, I think we've done a lot so far, and we will continue to move along. For example, in ethanol. Yes, we did help develop corn-based ethanol, but we also have the promotion of developing cellulosic ethanol and keeping more food back in the market. So again, I think we've understood and reacted each time some issues in the environment and in the world have come up, and we've done the right thing to keep the conversation and moving forward.
Great. Thank you, Brent.
All right.